Greetings, my fellow musicologists out there. Alex Tamulis here. Just got home from a long day at work, and I was just wondering, I was actually chatting with my friend Miles Davis here, and I said, Miles, why are guitar players and singers band leaders most of the time? And Miles just said, you know what? Let's ask Stewart Copeland from one of the greatest bands of all time, one of the greatest drummers of all time. Let's see what he says. Let's see what he has to chime in. Check it out.
There's the hierarchy, and the singers at the top, and then come the guitarists and the melodic instruments, and then there's the people who are like the keyboard players who play chords, and below them is the bass player, and below him is the drummer. And so the two guys at the bottom, at the back of the bus, form this bond. And the bass player, he feels better than the drummer because at least he plays notes. But because they're so deep, nobody can really, they're kind of deep and they're low notes. And low notes are lower in the hierarchy than high notes. High notes are called lead. Low notes are called bass. And bass is in the back of the bus with the drummer. And that's why it's very important to have a connection between the drummer and the bass player so that there is somebody for the drummer to talk to at the back of the bus.
I just thought it was super funny that Stewart Copeland mentioned it. He was thinking about band hierarchies, and the instrument that you play does have an important role on your behavior with the band. It's related to arrangements, it's related to how you portray yourself to the audience. It's got something to do with, obviously, the personality of people who are drawn towards those instruments versus the position that those instruments have in the sound spectrum, like higher pitched, higher on the hierarchy. You can totally change the game by simply applying critical thinking to mixing and songwriting. Notice that rules are just basic storytelling, and you've been led to believe that there's a proper way for you to behave. Change the game by beating their own rules. Use your greatest power, creativity. Thank you for taking the time. That's a wrap, but just remember, what music is what music does.